Hey guys, how are you? My name is JIngluski and I'm back today. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for Avalon Center. And I'm back today to kind of go over some of my notes, go over some discussions about stalking. As you may or may not know, January is Stalking Awareness Month. So we use this opportunity to kind of discuss things that you may or may not know about stalking and how it relates to domestic violence. And today I really want to talk about context. Context is key. Context is everything when you're dealing with stalking cases. Many times what is scariest to a victim seems often kind or even benign to an outsider. So we want to talk about that. A great example is a woman who may get roses sent to her at work, and her initial knee-jerk reaction is fear, and her coworkers are celebrating it and seeing it as an act of kindness. And so that's one of the things that we want to talk about. What could possibly go through that victim's mind. Some of the things that she will think about is, gosh, does this person know where I live? Why did they think it is appropriate to send these to me at work? Is it meant to be as a threat? Many times if it's an abuser, that was the intention, is to make it a threat. So, and meanwhile, your coworkers are celebrating it and they're clapping their hands and they're celebrating the person who sent it, which can be intimidating to a victim. So at that point, it's okay for you to ask, so why did this scare you? Tell me more about this. What message did you receive? What message do you believe was intended? And that's something that's very important, and we like to make sure that you can kind of get that person talking, especially when you're dealing with things that we deal with on a day. There's many studies out there that show victim fear is an excellent predictor of victim danger. So in other words, that means that if she is afraid or he is afraid, there is very good reason for that person to be afraid, and we need to acknowledge that. We need to make sure that we are keeping that in our mind, because not all victims express fear in the same way. They can be annoyed, they can be sad. Sometimes, in fact, they don't show any emotion whatsoever. That does not, however, mean that they're not experiencing emotional distress. They're not experiencing fear. So those are things that we need to keep in mind. And it's important to realize that everyone reacts to trauma differently. And we talk about that a lot at Avalon. Our trauma-informed care is very important, and it's part of our best practices. Everybody doesn't experience trauma the same way. So identifying that and knowing that and moving on from that can kind of help someone that's going through emotional distress. So to keep this short today, as a recap, just because it doesn't seem scary to an outsider does not mean that it is not scary or even threatening to a victim. Stalking behaviors are often directed with specific meanings that are only meant to be understood between the victim and the offender. So we need to understand that. Context is key. Context is key. Context is key. This is how we know it. This is how we identify it. This is how we name it. And this is how we stop it. So please contact us if you know somebody who's experiencing stalking, domestic violence. You can get all of our information on our website at avaloncenter.org. And I hope you have a wonderful day.